action. Let's talk about ladybugs. Ladybugs crave visual simplicity and organizational simplicity. I am not a ladybug, but I would like to be a ladybug. However, I'm just embracing the fact that I'm a bee. I'm a bee, so I organize the way that's best for my brain, and I'm just like, release that. But I really love the way a ladybug home looks. It's just everything's nice and clean and clear because of the visual simplicity, the need for not seeing your stuff and just putting it away. And then also putting away things in big categories. It's just so convenient and easy and just makes sense. Whereas sometimes I think I overcomplicate it. I'm like, why do I need to put the books in color order? That takes a little bit more time than just putting it on the shelf. But it's the way my brain works. So I'm embracing that and I do it the way that I do it and try not to judge myself. But for instance, like this is my bee brain here. I've got to see all my stationery, otherwise I would forget. So if you are a ladybug, you would prefer to have that in a pretty basket maybe with a label on it. And you don't forget what you have because that's just the way your brain works. Okay, so let's talk about the ladybug brain, and I'm just going to read a little bit here. She says that ladybugs are enigmas. Most of them tend to be carefree and outgoing, while at the same time slightly neurotic and a total homebody. Can you be outgoing and never want to leave your house? Can you be fun-loving and carefree, but totally get stressed out about dirty dishes on the counter? Yes, you're a ladybug, which is totally fine, right? So just embracing who you are. Okay, so remember, you need simplicity in all the things, and you may be a Heidi hoarder. Heidi hoarder, that's a cute term. That means that you shove things. If you don't have, ooh, look how pretty. See, I think that's beautiful. So if you don't have a system set up and you just have shelving, whatever, and you probably just shove things because you want it off the counter so you don't want to see it. But then when you do that, you can't really find things as well as if they were organized into big, broad categories. Can you see that? Ooh, with labels. Okay. So anyway, that's on page, I don't know what page this is, 153, if you're interested in looking at the pictures. I love all the pictures in here. So when you are living, let's talk about living or working with a ladybug if you are not a ladybug. So if you are someone who needs detail organizing, remember a ladybug brain doesn't work that way. It's so much harder for them to detail organize because they're big picture people. They're like, I want to look at the big picture. I don't have time for those little details. I'm on to the next thing, which again, I envy. I love that. Don't get tied up in the details. So people who, crickets and bees, you need to release that perfectionism if you live with someone who needs broader categories and just organize in shared spaces in a more broad category. Don't worry about how beautiful the silverware looks. I put the silverware in the silverware drawer and they look like little soldiers. The rest of the family doesn't do that. And I don't complain about it because it's just my thing. So release that stuff and let them organize the way that they organize. And then a ladybug actually too needs to kind of release some of their perfectionism when it comes to everything being put away, because people who are visual, so the ladybug's got to do a little bit of compromise there. People who are visual have a really hard time being able to remember what they have or find what they have if it's behind closed doors. So ladybugs, just remember that if you're living with a visual organizer, let them be visual. Let them have out the things that they need to have out. So remember to look at chapter 4, and this is the living and working with, nope. Chapter 7, the ladybug, if you feel like this describes you, and figuring out what best works for you. So again, y'all know this is just like so life-changing. If you can figure out your style, then you're going to stay organized after you get organized. And I really say start here. Start with this book. Start with Cass's book. It's brilliant. Okay, I need to stop saying that, I know, but it's brilliant. And then I like the way that she describes the ladybug and why she named it that, because she herself is a ladybug. And she says, like, think about what a ladybug looks like. It's so beautiful and shiny. That shell is beautiful. The wings are lovely. And you're like, how pretty. You know, you walk into a ladybug's house and you're like, oh, what a pretty house. Muted colors. Cass says she uses muted colors and everything is very symmetrical to help her ADD brain. So FYI, if you have ADD, maybe that'll help. But then, okay, so we're back to the ladybug. So it's beautiful, and then they open up the wings and you're like, ooh, it's kind of gross under there. It's kind of like a mess. It's kind of like, ah. So I think that fits perfectly. So if you like open up drawers, you know, like you're probably a ladybug if everything looks nice and clean, you have nothing on your countertops, but everything's shoved inside drawers. Okay, ladybugs. I love ladybugs. Some of my favorite people are ladybugs too. And again, I aspire to be a ladybug, but I am not. So don't try to be what you are not. Don't try to fit into someone else's box. Go with your brain, go with how you really work and function. You will be so much happier if you do it the way that you are naturally designed, the way God made you. Okay, that's it. That's it for the ladybug. Check out this book, The Clutter Connection by Cassandra Arson.